Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, and with me always.
It's your boy Cash, aka Exec P. What's happening, good people?
Oh man, Cash. For the people who first time hearing us, even though we've been here for a while, been putting out this stuff, they may have just stumbled on to us. Can you please tell them who we are and what we do?
If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a reoccurring listener, welcome back. You know what we do is music, sports, entertainment, culture each and every week. We keep you abreast of current events. Every now and then we may do things like Only the Classics, where we go back and listen to certain albums that resonated with Prez and I, and we stamp them a classic and dare you to argue. And then there's times where we have independent artists on and we put on for the culture like that to give them their proper shine. And really it's the art of the put on. That's kind of how this podcast came to be. We talked about music and sports all the time, and in particular music. So that's kind of where our basis is. And every now and then you may get all walks of life brought on here just to kind of chop it up with us and speak to their truth on whatever they're into, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's business, so on and so forth. So that's a little bit about Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast.
Hey, Cash, good thing you mentioned Only the Classics. Those are usually like our little bonus or just when we going through in the field, just trying to get everybody in. I did one a couple of weeks ago on Wale, the album About Nothing. It's an audio only. Remember, we are podcast people. That's kind of where we started. We're doing a lot of moving, getting stuff resituated in his new house. Hopefully we're moving in my new house sometime soon. But during that little move, we went to audio only. We may go back and redo a version that's for the video, but I mean, if you want to listen at that, go back and listen at that on the audio. Let us know your thoughts on via Twitter, or Instagram, wherever you're gonna find us, or just hit us up individually. We can do that too. But yeah, that's one of the ones that we put on there. So if you're a fan of that series where we did it, where we had a couple of videos on here, I think we got the Common, we got the Beanie Siegel, we did Scarface. Yeah, we got several of them out there, man. So, and this one we was coming in with the Wale, the album About Nothing, and I thought it was done very well, if I don't say so myself. But this week, Cash, what do we have on the agenda?
Man, we have a little bit of everything. And we have Roe versus Wade, the reversal, and kind of what that means for our sisters, our family members, our ladies out there. So we're going to talk a little bit about that from our perspective on where we stand and kind of what it means moving forward. We also have more lighthearted on that sense, the BET Awards versus. You also have albums, the shenanigans that happen on Verzuz. I can't wait to get into that. New albums with Chris Brown, Giveon, Lupe Fiasco, Lil Durk, French Montana, Roddy Ricch. Like it was a lot of joints that dropped this weekend. Some EPs, some deluxes. So we're going to get into some of those projects. And then also we have some singles and some indie artists drops that came about, or just some people we want to put you guys on to that we've been listening to in the shadows. So that's this week's episode 167, man. I'm ready to get started, man. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with you doing a little, man, promote yourself a little bit, man. You had a live interview this past weekend, correct?
Yes, man. My man Marquise, Severely Yours, THHC podcast. Had my first official. We went over my album lightly on here, but with somebody outside of us or whatever. So we chopped it up for about an hour or so, man. Very energetic dude, genuine dude. So we got to talk about my project, Late Arrival, which is wherever you title, Apple Music, iTunes,
all the DSPs
is everywhere. You can find it. It's Cash Flow, Late Arrival, and we got into each and every track and just kind of the story behind the tracks or what I was feeling at the time when I recorded them. So y'all tap into that. It's on YouTube, and that's where you can find it.
Yeah, if you didn't know, Cash has stepped back in the booth. He's released, he got his album, his first official album, been doing this rapping thing for a while, He done dropped a couple mixtapes and all this little stuff back in the day back here. Went off, did father thing, achieved everything for his household. And full circle, come back around, you know, after DJing, getting this podcasting on, finally got his masterpiece off. You know what I mean? Got something that he's been building up for years. And able to get that. And I don't think he's gonna stop here. He's gonna continue to release more and more music, and it's only gonna get better from here. So, go check out that if you want to get in deeper about it. Like I said, they did a perfect job. I think that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours almost. Like it was long, man. Like, but y'all went in a lot of detail, each track and everything. So I would suggest if you want that deep breakdown of that album, or find out or hear how he came up with each one of those songs, then go check that out over there.
Yeah. I had a blast talking about it again. Shout out to Marquise again, man, for hosting that, man. It was fun. And then this Thursday, June 30th? Is this Thursday? I got another sit down with the Great Minds podcast. That'll be on IG Live. So follow the Great Minds podcast on IG Live. Be chopping it up with my brothers Vaughn and Numbs, and we'll be talking about, you know, the album again, man. So, you know, probably some different questions. I know those guys a lot more, so that should be a good time to talk about the project and just, you know, kick back.
Now, hopefully they ask you, what are your lyrical influences? I want to know who you really look up to, and why is it Jay Electronica? All right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's get into it. Oh man, so you want to get into the episode, because now you gonna throw us off when we get into this Jay Electronica thing, man. All right, man.
So we got the Roe versus Wade, the reversal, man. So the Supreme Court, basically, you know, this past week, came out and made abortions illegal again on the federal level, you know, and then it's still on the same way with marijuana. It's still illegal on the federal level, but each state has their own laws, and that's kind of how they doing. Some states rolled it all the way back and, you know, banned abortions altogether. I think that was Texas right off the jump, right? They ain't waste no time. They just banned them all together. No exceptions on anything. I think it was out there. No exceptions on rape or incest, you know, none of that. So, big deal, man. You think that was the one thing that was kind of like holding over, you know, people say like, oh, it's my right to do this, stand the ground and stuff like this, but you don't have control of your own body on these. But this ain't just the same damn argument we was arguing about the whole time with the shots, the COVID shots. Yeah, everybody was all up in arms. It's my body. I do what I want to do. But then you can't let this other person do what they want to do. It's that part.
Further marginalizing women.
Well, it's a kid. Well, the shot was supposed to save everybody. Like, or that's what it's supposed to do. You can debate back and forth how you want to. That was the intentions of it, and you can debate back and forth about it. But as long as I've been alive, man, this Roe versus Wade been okay. Abortions happens. It's either somebody could be too young, not ready, wrong person, not the person out there. They got, not to mention all the negative, the criminal part of it can come in. Somebody drugged, raped, all these other instances, you know, where, yeah. And now it's just like, we done walked it back. This is where we're going to stand. And I just think, like, with everything else that's going on in the States, this is kind of a way for them to just kind of shift the narrative. I hate these type things, man. Like, how can, question, Cash. Can you help me answer this? Supreme Court is for life, right?
Appointment. Yeah, the appointment. Yep.
Wasn't a lot of these people on here when the original like was done? What the fuck swayed their opinion and they just moved over and just like, nah.
Man, I have no idea. It's the agendas. Like, I was just kind of talking to my wife about it, and it was just like, it's wild. Like the rape, incest, all these different things, and immediately, like, why was this even a thing? Like, why is this such a rush to do this? You know what I mean? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, why? That's what boggles my mind. What makes a man, or anybody else for that matter, be able to tell a woman what to do with her body if she doesn't want to bring a child into this world? Like, you know what I mean? But then, you know, it kind of got deeper, and we started, you know, on our group chat kind of talking about other things, and, I really won't go there as far as this podcast goes because that can kind of get in the weeds and we can get spawn off into a whole nother discussion. But it's, talking about, I don't even want to get into that. I'll stick to what I talked to my wife about is, there's countless women that you and I know, maybe some of our family members that at a time or another have had an abortion and they had their own reasons, maybe too young, maybe with the wrong person that was never going to be a good father, you know what I mean? And then to flip it to the males, like, for the men that are fathering these children, what do they have to do? What are they bound to? You know what I mean? Like, they're not bound to no child support. It's kind of catch me if you can when it comes to child support in America. So what are the men bound to? You know what I mean? Like, so if we're going to come out with these type of things, like, it's no way to be fair about this. And this is just like, a lot of women were saying they're devastated by this decision, and I don't know where we go from here. I got to believe that this is not the end of this, man. Like, this is not the end of this. Like, it's women are so marginalized in society, man. Like, if you think it can go from the race then to women in general, you can go black women, whatever you want to do, but just this baffled me, man. Truly.
And then like, bro, like the part that gets me is like if you want to bring it on the religion side, right?
Everybody ain't Christian. Everybody ain't.
No, what I was saying,
whatever
everybody
religion.
ain't the same way. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so, but you want to say state is freedom to practice whatever you want to practice, right? But what I'm getting at is like, this ain't the end of problems right here. The world didn't end for the past 30, 40 years when this was like, okay, it ain't gonna end now because we done switched it back. You know what I mean? Like, it's other stuff going on that we are just turning a blind eye to, and we want to focus the attention on this. Like, what did you say? Like, this is only America. Do y'all not get out of America? Do y'all not go outside to these other countries? It's more than just us in this world. You know what I mean? Like, I've been all these places. You ain't stopping it nowhere else. Like, so you think everybody's gonna follow exactly what we're doing? We saying you can't do this, but we'd have known for years. Like, what was the rule in China? How many kids could you have?
Yeah, I remember that. What was it?
Like
I forgot the number.
2 kids, right?
Yeah,
and all of them was trying to get the boys or whatever, right? Because they wanted the heirs and all this. That had recently changed. So what they was doing all these years and stuff like this. So, I mean, like, I get we want to do right and everything over here, but like, it's so much more that goes on in the world and what we kind of need to do than set up. But I know you try to, we got to clean up home first and all this. Get out and see the world and actually understand what goes on around us and, everything else. We got wars being fought over there. We had people protesting in the street last year. We ain't resolved all those issues. But let's go back and take back.
Yeah, when you talk about, like, there's been nothing significant to happen in terms of just being able to arm yourself. In fact, just a week prior in New York, after the shootings in Buffalo and the shit that happened, terrorist act on the subway in New York City, not even a month or two later, you know what? Now they're opening up and being a lot more lenient on the gun laws in a city like New York City. Are you kidding me? What's next? Chicago, Illinois, like, well, you know what I mean? There's a reason why certain those gun laws in those cities are a lot more tight and restrictive, because you have a bunch more people in that city who are more liable. You don't want the people in these big cities walking around open carry like it's the Wild Wild West or the South. Like, I don't think, I love my city folk, but I don't think they could handle that as well. But that's what that's what we decide to do. You know what I mean? And then on the heels of that, it's like one bad decision that, like, just not a bad decision, but just one decision where I can't fathom, like, why is this a priority? Why is this a priority out of all of the things that we're dealing with? Shortages for kids to be able to eat. Like,
hold on, I forgot about that little portion. They can't even feed people right now. Like, they can't even got the baby formula. Like, hey, we got breastfeeding centers over here now. Something like, that's what you're gonna need, right?
We can't even feed each other. You got cows dropping dead. Like it's just a whole lot more to be dealing with than shit like this. Like the agenda is clear, man. The agenda is clear. I got a lot more to say about it. It's offline. I got a lot more to say about it offline in terms of what I really feel, but I still work for who I work for, so I can't really get too much into detail on that, Prez.
Oh man, yeah, that sucks for you. Yeah, man, but that's where our politics decided to focus on this week. I mean, hey,
Did you
it's
speak to
kind of weird.
any of the ladies in your family on it?
Yeah, of course, and I ain't gonna put nobody's business out there, but I mean, like they thought the same way. Like, where is this focus? Like, where is this really coming from? I don't feel like this was like something that's people are going wild with. I don't know, like you hear about these things, but ain't like everybody like, oh, let's do this and go get an abortion next week. It's not like a party train or anything going on over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, precisely, and that's kind of where we were. Like when I woke up that morning, I'm like, wait a minute. Like I'm rubbing my eyes. Like I can't believe it. Like am I in the Matrix? Like what's happening? Like you know what I mean? Like this literally cannot be happening in supposedly should be one of the most distinguished and free lands in the world. Like it can't be happening here, not here, right? But never ceases to amaze me, man. Never
Raise my taxes though. But who gonna pay for all these kids that are gonna now be in these shelters and all this, not up for the adoption?
Can't even feed the kids that we trying to bring into the world. Like and the one like back to a woman's body, man. Like for anybody except for that particular woman being able to choose what they do with their body, you foul for we are foul as a oh man. I got prayers. I ain't trying to get hemmed up, man. I got a lot more to say. Maybe on a Patreon episode. Maybe on a Patreon.
Yeah, maybe on that. Maybe.
Yeah.
So,
man. All right, man. So let's get into the verses first, man. That happened last Thursday, same day as the draft. Ironically. So I mean, what do you want? Where do you want to start with this shenanigans? Like this was like one of my all-time favorite verses, man. Like I'm still getting through majority of it. But man, like it felt like if all of our boys were in one room drunk talking shit.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. It was all types of N-bombs on the stage. Like they didn't care where they was at.
I get exactly what you're talking about too. Even with our lack of talent, that's exactly how it would have sound. You know what I mean? Because like there was no talent sitting on that stage at times, man.
Man, who is Sammy,
I felt
man?
like we was just
like what?
Sammy was.
He sounded
like Sammy
good.
Did good.
He sounded good.
I felt like Sammy sounded good. I felt like P sounded good too. Like he carried. He messed up a couple times, but it wasn't as bad as the other side. Mario, Sammy, and P, like all of them was good. Like that whole other side was solidified. It felt like they understood what they was coming to do. Like you got to actually like carry a note and do these things, right?
Yeah.
Now, maybe throughout the whole process, I felt like the audio was just bad altogether. You know what I mean? They ain't have the best acoustics and everything. They still need to do a couple more sound tests, and get that sound right. I didn't feel like it was perfect for nobody. But from what we heard, like they were still the pure singers, you know what I mean?
The singers,
yeah. And the other side, even though it had Bobby V voice just wasn't right on there. And then Ray J them, I think he's too into everything else he does. Like I feel like when you sing, you gotta. That's a muscle that you gotta actually do too, right? You gotta work that. So he probably could sing a little bit better. You give him a little bit more time to build up. But I just felt like he was off on this. And then when we come to Omarion, man, he was just. I don't feel like he ever had it. I feel like we had it lost in our mind because we'd heard it on so much on the radio so often. We'd heard it on, seen him in movies and all this little stuff. But the thing, what he brought to my attention that was very evident, he sells a show. He sells himself, his dancing abilities, and all the antics that come with it. The singing was just like, another little attachment, little part, but it wasn't the main draw.
Yeah.
And as we get older, as you get older, you know, all that little dancing, like everybody calm down. And at the age that he's at right now, everybody's, you know, a little bit more in that tune with that Mario style. I go out there, I dance a little bit, but I ain't about to be the only. I want to hear some good ass music. Not like, hey, get out here and sing. And that voice, those skills is what's going to continue to carry them.
True. Really, okay, I'll talk about the funny shit I got out of it. Remember Boondocks? That was an old cartoon. So as soon as Omarion brought out that watermelon, instantly I was like, yo, this got to be the most Negro moments of all Negro moments. Like, I'm like, fam, what are you doing? Like, I was talking to my man Lonnie, man, and we were like, yo, we don't know if it's we in our latter 30s, you know what I'm saying? And we watched and we just like, how could he do this? Or whether it's just for entertainment. I said, it's just entertainment. I'll admit, I laughed. I'm not a prude to where I can't laugh at it, but it was, as I sat back, this is some Negro shit right here, man. Like, how you using a watermelon to signify you eating out some box, man? Like, who wants to see that? Who wants to see that? And why? Who signed off on that, Prez? Like, who thought that was dope? Who thought that was like dope? You know what I mean? Why you got your brother out there as your wingman? You know what I'm saying? If he put you up to that, then he put you up to some stupid shit. And then you know what the other thing was? It made me realize that Omarion might not be the coolest dude in real life. Look.
Can I jump in right there? Can I jump in right there? Because as a portion, like all these was child artists,
childhood
right?
stars, yeah.
They was all child stars, right? And they're coming up in the age, you know, Ray J may have been the one that came on at the latest of age with the matureness, you know what I mean? Like, so he had a different little speaking language that he was speaking all, but all of them, we just see them grow up completely. They're almost all of them, damn, they're touching 40 now and stuff like this, right? Their whole lives done played out in front of the damn TV. Even if their music wasn't always there, you know, TMZ found them somewhere and doing all these other things. What I say is that, I say that to say this, man. All of them got question marks. Like, you know what I mean? Omarion is sitting up here talking about Mario and all this little stuff. And like, oh, you ain't did this. Like, well, I think one time he was trying to like say, you know, take off the jacket and stuff like this. And it's just like, well, man, your body didn't save you from your boy taking your girl. So what are you saying? Bobby V? Do we got to mention the last time we seen Bobby V? Like, what are you talking noise about?
Oh man,
Ray J been on Love and Hip Hop 100 damn times. We got so much like little nonsense that he done got caught up on. Like, what are you trying to act tough on this stuff about? Like, all their lives have played out in front of the TV. So any of them talking tough and trying to act like they gonna one up somebody is just like, there's enough dirt on everybody here. Just get out there and sing at this point. Like, let's not bring up your flaws because
Mario was the
all
foulest
got way
of
too
all.
many.
Mario was the foulest of all, man. Don't do this. Y'all really, you niggas, y'all really doing this right now. Like he was just talking throughout everybody, all the performances. Y'all really singing? Y'all really singing?
Jeremiah, don't get out here and sing.
Oh my Lord. I didn't know Jeremiah. Like I thought Jeremiah really had could sing, like, you know what I'm saying? Sing. I thought he could sing, but but here's the thing, though. My other thing, Perez, was they have like auto-tune microphones and all that stuff to where you could sound damn near like the song, or you can have the sound doctored up to how you typically would sound on a record. There's ways to do that. So my thing is like, why wouldn't they even have that capability? You know what I mean? It just seems like the production wasn't there when it came to the audio, like you said earlier.
Egos too, Cash. Egos got the better of him. Omarion, when Mario was coming up ahead of them into it.
Yep.
But when he was talking before, and he was just like, "You sure you want to do this? You need B2K. You need their songs. You ain't gonna have them out there." And he was right. He was right.
Then he brought B2K out there too. He already had that, and he already like. How did you not know that? How did you not know he was gonna bring B2K out there? And like then they arguing on social media. So like, it was a perfect entertainment mess. Whole lot of Negro shit going on, and I enjoyed every minute of it, Prez. I enjoyed every minute of it. I wasn't looking at it seriously from the get-go. I watched the NBA draft, but I caught it on the back end. You know who's the winner in all this?
It wasn't D-Ray.
D-Ray is not even funny, man. He just
He couldn't even must handle that little crowd like, bro, just
hell yeah. But the winner in all this is Ray J, man. Ray J is the winner in all this. He got all the attention. He got all the attention.
Oh.
The memes, the dance moves on social media. Like, he's the one that got picked on the most. And then I know I was listening to Joe Budden podcast, right? And he called up Ray J. He was like, Ray. He's like, I know, man. I know. I fucked up. Too much Casamigos, man. It was just like he's so hilarious. He admits that he lost, right? And then the next day, what he's doing, he's promoting on his fuck up. This man is the ultimate spin cycle and can get out of almost any bad situation. He reminds me of a good friend we have. His name is James. No matter how bad things get for James, he finds a way to just make just sunshine out of shit, man. Like he just finds a way to do it, man. And Ray J finds a way to just never look embarrassed. Always treat every opportunity like publicity and keep on moving on with his, 5,000 business or LLC or whatever. And he's gonna spin this off. So all around, man, good time. But on a serious note, R&B, if people feel a certain type of way about R&B, it did take a little bit of a hit.
Well, no. I'm not gonna let you do that with R&B. Your type of R&B that you champion on here, Cash.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! No!
What I've been saying from the get go, you gotta truly be able to sing, to carry R&B. You know what I mean? What I've been saying for years. Go back, check the tapes. You bringing in all these auto-tune use. What I don't like about it, the auto-tune, man. Like, it's a good little feel and everything, but it's not R&B. I'm always gonna go and give those people who are true R&B good listens, and I'm gonna rate them according because they got talent, a true talent.
Is this the singing business or the entertainment business?
Well, in their portion, when I push play, it's not entertainment; it's the singing business.
It got to entertain too. It sound good on the record when you press play too. Chris Brown he said he sounds great. They just can't do it live, man. They just had to. It just don't perform. So how about that?
I feel like the people who could really sing, they ticket just went up. You know what I mean? Like they taking and people are gonna criticize that in a little bit. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Somebody come out with somebody new come out now after this point. I think people are gonna say, but can he really sing? Let's hear him on the next.
I don't think so.
Saturday Night Live or something, and make sure he's actually can carry this.
I don't know. I think the singers will always. They still have a backseat. I remember Tank talking about this earlier in the year, and I forget where he was at. Maybe he was on.
It took this. It took this. I know what you're saying because they've been saying it for a while on all this, but I think it took something like this to kind of lift them back off, to give them the right amount of push. I feel
now. I feel you. The only reason why I say it ain't really gonna get there because Mario did a good job. He didn't do he didn't knock everybody's side. He clearly won. But if he would have went there and was ooh yeah, like if he would have Jada kissed the moment, then yeah, possibly.
Truthfully, if I'm being truthfully honest, he ain't got enough hits. He got good songs.
He got some good songs. He got some really good songs.
Got some really good songs. He has he has the capability. He's a great singer. But with him just doing all his songs, I don't think he had the catalog to kind of just kill it like you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're saying. Now, if
he was doing covers up in there, if he did a couple covers, he probably would have, hands down, he got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or just really took the opportunity to kind of what the Locks did, switch the beats up, drop something out, really get into the performance aspect, use some more popular beats current or in the past, and just really sing your heart away and do kind of what you do at your show. You know what I mean? But you could tell who was touring. You could tell who don't tour anymore. you could tell who've lost a step in terms of just performance, and it showed there, man. It showed there. But I think Omarion out of everybody really took an L in terms of, you know, what people view him as, because he went in there, he was like overconfident. He was one of them guys that was overconfident going into it. And again, I don't think this is Omarion's bag. Like, that Baltimore came up out of Mario to where he was kind of punking you know, at the same, he was kind of punking everybody, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, man. I had a good time. I was entertained. But on a serious note, Verzuz needs to pick some more people that's a little bit more quality tested. Yeah. Just some real hits. Let's get back to some real hits. This was good from the entertainment aspect. And also shout out to Ray J. He was a producer on this too as well. So
I mean, yeah, man.
Ray
Like,
J wins.
Hey, shout out to Ray J, even on stage babysitting, man. That's amazing.
Exactly. But that baby couldn't save him from that ass whooping. That baby could not save him from that ass whooping at all. I don't care. He tried to bring your baby out for good measure and shit. They did not take it easy on him, man. You can see them comments lighting Ray J ass up, man. I mean, that's the other thing, man. They need to get that shit back on Instagram, man, so you could, like, in real time, you know, talk shit and see the comments. And I don't want to see that shit on the side of the screen, man. But that's why I catch them on the replays. But nevertheless, great entertainment, man. Great entertainment. Can't wait till the next one comes on, man.
Gotta ask this, because it's gonna be asked. R&B. Who would you say come on there, you know, could make it get back to the level that it should be? Who do you think they need to have as the next R&B?
Oh, it's no doubt. The only one you can do to kind of bring it back to where everybody's tuning in the music industry, whether you listen to R&B or not anymore, is Chris Brown and Usher. That's the only two, to me.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. You got to set up a whole stadium if you're gonna have that. Like, that thing gonna sell out ridiculous. I mean, but would they do something like that? I don't even know if they would do anything like that.
I think they will. I think they both game for it. They've been talking about, like, Chris Brown's been doing his run of media promotion, and he's been asked that in at least 2 of the 3 stops that he's been at, like the Wallows and the Drink Champs, and he ain't say no. You know what I mean? But nobody's also asked Usher publicly, so I haven't heard Usher publicly. But I think Usher would be down for that. You know what I mean? I think I
think you're missing one person out of that group, though, like that could kind of go toe to toe with one of them too.
Who's that?
If you're talking about Usher and Chris Brown, they're gonna bring the singing and the dancing. Trey ain't gonna. I don't think he's gonna have that whole like Usher and Chris Brown will bring the whole show, the whole entertainment feel to it. I think you'll get that with both of them. So,
and then if you
that'd be more of a battle.
Adding Trey to because Trey got hits too, man. Trey got hits too.
Yeah.
Who? Damn, we need a fourth. We need to think of a fourth.
That's what I'm saying. I would say, like, the likelihood of getting Usher and Chris Brown, kind of slim. But we can find an opponent for Trey Songz.
And it would be like a yin and yang too. It would be like a difference of styles. You know what I mean? It'd be more so. The Chris Brown and Trey may be a little bit more closer than you think, because they came in not too far apart as well. You know, and they're part of the same era if you really think about it. And we'll see, man. That sounds like I got to find somebody to pit against Trey Songz, man. I can't think of anybody right now that would make it interesting.
Yeah, that one I can't think of that. But I feel like you could probably get. I ain't saying Trey is not above it, but I'm saying, like, I feel like your shot would be better than getting Usher and Chris Brown. You probably have a better shot.
But then again, it'll be like the underdog thing too. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what you're gonna get out of Trey Songz coming up there. You don't know how they both snipers in terms of the girl thing, so you don't know what could. It's a lot of shit.
Trey Songz versus Neo.
Did Neo? I thought Neo already did Verzuz.
Did he do one? Yeah,
he did one, but that was back in the early Verzuz days, I believe. The way it was like,
man, I still feel bad about the early Verzuz days with the one that continued to come to my mind, just how Ludacris and Nelly.
Yeah,
I just felt like Nelly could have done so much more.
Yeah, he could have done so much more. I think you got to get Nelly on the stage, man. Like,
it's too late now. Like, you can't go back and redo it. I don't think. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of been done. But
you got to have a rematch. They have to have a rematch.
He missed his opportunity. That was because that was like at your house. He had the shoddy internet.
Can you imagine hotness? I'm going like That's a big ass record. I don't care where you from or shitting on Nelly or whatever. Like I was in the Midwest when Nelly was like, I was like literally in St. Louis when Nelly came out, man. That whole album, man, was you heard that shit on the radio, you heard it in the clubs, and you heard it all around America. I think like Nelly first 2-3 albums, that's tough to deal with, man. He had a lot of hits on there, man. And you know, I do fuck with Nelly, man. So yeah, that's a rematch I would love to see. It's a few versus rematches I would love to see from the cell phone pandemic era that I feel like they need to bring back. Now, if they bring back some of those for some people that like, remember when not Jazzy Faye, but Manny Fresh thought he was talking real reckless, and you know he kind of lost and the way he went about it wasn't right. But he possibly could have gotten closer. But I think you know, I think they should go back to some producers too, man, on stage as well, and bring out other artists, you know what I mean, and make it a thing to where, you know, they get some of those folks out. But yeah, man.
So,
but
top verses for me, I would say, I mean, the Jadakiss, I'm saying just Jadakiss, the Locks versus Dipset. That was a good one. That's one that, like, you know, locked everybody in. But other than that one, man, I still like the Soulja Boy versus the Bow Wow. I enjoyed that one all the way through, man. That dude was a clown, man. He kept my attention.
I like my man Roderick Davis against Jeezy.
Oh yeah, the Gucci, Gucci and Jeezy.
Because I was on the edge of my seat thinking that something negative is gonna happen in this.
The Rick Ross, 2 Chainz, they had some good verses.
Yeah, man. They had some good ones, man. You know, DMX, of course, and Snoop, that was a good one. You know, they showed love all. You know, all shows.
Ghostface versus Raekwon.
Yeah, that was a good. It had some good ones, man. I think it got legs to stay, man. It's just if it's gonna be bad,
you can't have no more of that, though.
But if it's gonna be bad, they still won with all the entertainment. Like we still talking about it 4 days later, Perez. Like this, a lot of other podcasts have talked about it, but we just still had to talk about it because I don't think we had a chance to chop it up over the weekend with all we had going on to really kind of, you know, break down how silly these motherfuckers were acting. But speaking of shows and shit like that, did you catch the BET Awards at all, or just in general? How about this? Have you watched an award show? I mean, we're talking about the BET Awards, so to speak, but have you like watched an award show? And how long has it been, or do you watch award shows?
I don't know. I used to watch them back in the day when that's all you had on TV when they come on. Like that was something to look forward to. But with all my, you know, choices, I ain't watching that. So many movies I ain't watched. So many TV shows I ain't watched.
So much other content from whoever I want to get content.
The people I be rooting for don't ever win anyway. So it's just like I do like I always do. Yeah, I go check out a couple of performances after everybody told me which one was like great. You know, I go look at that on YouTube and this stuff a little bit later. But tuning in to find out who won this and who won that, you don't agree. And Jack Harlow probably gonna win everything on BET Awards. I don't know who be voting for these stuff. Give me a panel. Tell me who's voting on these, and then let that be known. But don't give me the mysterious panel and know who's voting on, because I'm tired of all that. Everything is transparent. We have all these shows, like you got like what's the America's Got Talent, where they got the 3 judges. I'm used to seeing and knowing who's voting on this stuff. You know what I mean? Y'all done condition us this way.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy the scripted shows. I don't enjoy them anymore because, like you said, you have so much different things that you can watch nowadays, and then in general, like some people just don't perform well. You know what I mean? So the performances even be lacking at times. Like I know Diddy did it. They did a tribute to Diddy in terms of just honoring him at the BET Awards, rightfully so. His performance was the best performance to me. But again, I really don't care too much about the performance aspect. You know what I'm saying? You got to see another Bad Boy reunion tour, by the way, before I even lose my train of thought. That has to happen. And if that comes to anywhere near where I live, I will be there because I was rocking out to that. But y'all know, if y'all don't know me, Bad Boy era, I was in it, and I loved almost damn near every artist on Bad Boy. So I would definitely pay for that. But other than that, man, Big Lotto, she brought out Mariah Carey for big energy in terms of a performance. So that was cool to see. And then, Chance and Joey Badass had a performance that was, what it was, it was kind of lackluster to me. So these guys, I'd rather see them in concert performing a full, melody of their hits and stuff like that, as opposed to on the stage, because it's never like the true song that I actually want to hear from said artist. You know what I mean? It's always the big song, and I've seen them perform it in so many different venues on so many festival stages. By the time they get to BET, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So I just don't support any award shows.
Was Nas there? Did Nas perform? Dropped 2 albums 6 months apart from each other.
And be on
King
BET?
Disease 2 was good. Magic still in rotation.
No.
How do you not acknowledge something like that? And how is that is not getting recognized?
And how does Chance the Rapper get on? How does Chance to get Rapper, to me, like, this is not no hate, but I don't understand how he gets on the BET Awards, right? And he just dropped that single like maybe not even 3-4 weeks ago. Like, that has to be somebody in BT that really rocks with Chance that's giving him that look. You know what I mean? Because there's countless other, even Jack Harlow, like, just, you know what I'm saying? Drake. It's a bunch of people, but people don't really come to that award show, or just a lot of award shows in general, man. So if you're going to come to one and you're an artist, of course, it should probably be the BT Awards. But I think the award show thing is kind of dying out to me. Like, I don't know. I don't really care for the Grammys. I don't care for BT. I don't care for any of it, to be honest with you. I'm not arguing about a Grammy or a BT Awards
unless
anymore.
somebody is getting slapped on stage. I'm not tuning in. You set the bar.
What we got next, Chris? What albums came out this week that you want to talk about?
I get what you're saying, Cash. I'm right there with you. I'm not tuning in. You better tell me somebody getting slapped, and who I want to know who's doing the slapping.
Yeah, it got to be some. It got to be some type of Negro activities going down for me to care. Yeah, don't just give me a regular.
I mean, look at the evolution that we had. We had Nipsey Hussle slapping the dude off in the parking lot, to that actually Will Smith actually walking up and doing it in a.
Rest in peace to Nipsey.
Where they gonna go next with it?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm not advocating for violence. That might be Prez, man.
I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying, if you want the views,